So many familiar faces. Obviously, I'm really excited about the the opportunities that we'll have this season. Griff and his staff has done an outstanding job. A really, really outstanding job of taking a really tough situation and converting it into something that's very beneficial for our franchise, I think. The draft was great. I think we got some good young players that's going to be factors in our team, if not immediately in the near future. I'm excited about it. I think we've got a great coaching staff, and that's from Jeff and Chris, who's going to be the offensive and defensive guys, all the way down to our player development guys, they're doing an absolutely great job. So I wouldn't trade my staff for any staff in the NBA, really. And, I think it's a staff that gets along great together, that's going to work well together. And, we're looking forward to the start of the season. I think we got, like I said, a great group of guys that's going to work for the same common goal. I can see that just watching the pickup games that they play. I think we got great leaders, obviously, in Drew and JJ and Derek Favors and, Etwan and some of the older guys on our team. I think our young guys are in great hands as far as those guys being able to help them and try to have them progress and be able to, follow the leads of some of the leaders that we have. So I think it's an exciting time here. I've never seen, the 4 years that I've been here, I've never seen this much interest in the start of the basketball season, and the excitement that the people that you run into in the streets or the restaurants or wherever here, it just seems to be an exciting time for Pelicans basketball, and we're going to try to do everything we can to put a product on the floor that they can really appreciate.
Dave just kind of mentioned Drew's not natively a vocal guy, someone who gets in people's face, things like that from a leadership perspective. How much of that is kind of on a coach to help draw that out of him?
Well,
the guy that you need him to be?
But I don't think you necessarily have to be this vocal leader to be a great leader. I coached Steve Nash for seven years. I didn't see him as a really outspoken vocal leader, but I think there's different ways of leadership. I think Drew's well understood by the players on our team that he's going to do it mainly through watch me. You don't have to listen, but watch me, and I think he's been great at that. It's a little bit like the old E.F. Hutton commercials, though. When he does speak, people have a tendency to listen because they think it's going to be very important.
Coach, one of the things that you've preached since you got here, and I think has been understated, has been your commitment to the defensive end. Last year is where it fell off. When you look at the talent that you have, and then adding Coach Bzdelic, how good a defensive team do you think the Pelicans can be this year?
Well, I as I said when we were talking, I told the guys I'd be really disappointed if we weren't a top 10 defensive team or a top 5 defensive team. So, I think we've got the depth. I think we've got guys that understand. Jeff and I spent a lot of time talking. I think we're very much on the same page of being aggressive defensively and not reacting, but making offense react to us. I'm really excited about that because I do think that we have enough depth and we have enough guys. And, for the first time, I think we have length, that we can play guys at multiple positions who's got the length and everything that we should be a good defensive team. And, what he did at Houston, is very impressive. Obviously, they brought him back in the middle of the year last year, and they were, I think, 26 in the league. They ended up second in the league defensively. So that in itself just gives a lot of credibility to what he can bring to the table, I think.
How have you seen Jackson and Nikhil interact with Zion? And those three kind of just growing together?
Well, those guys are, they're the same age, number one. They're all 19 years old, and, they got common interests. They have very similar personalities, I think. So they've been able to explore the city together. They've shown up almost everywhere, from, the Tulane's girl volleyball game to the Saints game. So I think that, they're just kids. They're 19-year-old kids. They should be having fun. So they're extremely hard workers, all of them, when they're on the court. But I think we also, as coaches and administrators, we got to let them be who they are, and they're teenage guys, in a great situation in a great city, and they're exploring it and having a good time.
When you got your hands on Zion for summer league, what were your impressions of what you saw and from your limited time interaction with him, and where is he now compared to that?
We didn't play him in summer league, and we chose to do that. We got together collectively and decided not to play him. But, I think Griff covered it. He's an extremely hard worker. He's not a me guy at all. He wants to fit in. He's made tremendous progress in things. We have Aaron Nelson here. He's the best at his job anywhere, not just in the NBA, anywhere. And so I think he's made a lot of progress in a lot of areas that's going to help him when he's on the court. He's played pickup games. I think the thing that we've got to understand, and I don't know, Griff didn't cover it, but we've talked a lot about it as a staff, is that, he's not here to save our franchise. He's here to be a part of something that's going to be what Griff has referred to as sustainable winning. And, he's going to be a guy that contributes, but we're not going to ask him, to put on a cape and fly in and save our franchise. He's going to be a really good player, and he's going to work at every single day. He's going to work at getting better. And to me, that's the most important thing right there.
Can you characterize the difference in the energy in the building, just, from where you guys were a few months ago to where you've been the last, 6-8 weeks? It feels like this is a totally different franchise.
I think everyone would agree with that. Everybody just feel like that there's a different energy, there's a different vibe coming from our players, coming from the other guys on the staff. As I said, those guys over there, I really wouldn't trade them for anybody. I just think we have a great connection. I think they're extremely, extremely hard-working guys. Griff went out and got the very best. You look at Trajan over there. He's a guy that was very much wanted by a ton of teams, even interviewed here for the job. So the fact that we can add a guy like him, Swin, you look at some of the other things that we've done, we go out and get a Hall of Fame in Teresa Witherspoon and Swin, and then just the guys like, that you guys probably never heard of, like, Joe Borland and Jamil and guys like that, and all the people that we've added. We've even added a couple of LSU guys, right? So we're excited about it, and I just think the energy and everything that we have right now in the building and with the players, you look at the players, I think there's a lot of guys feel like they have something to prove this year. I think there's a lot of guys that are trying to find their way, and then there's a lot of guys that we've had here that feel like this is a great opportunity. So I think you're going to see collectively from everybody from the basketball ops departments to the medical staff to the players to the coaches feel like we're really on the same page and all out to accomplish a common goal. So I think when you do that, your organization seems to be headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
We talked about, Coach, with Griff even, all the young guys, your great coaching staff, all the young guys bring in, J.J. Redick, okay, a guy you bring in, obviously on the court, spacing and everything, but off the court, your thought process, all these young guys, but you got a veteran like J.J. Redick who's been there, done that. Talk about him for a minute.
Well, I coached J.J. when I was with the Clippers, and he's been that way forever, really. great guy. He'll spend time with the young guys and not just talk about, coming off a pin down screen or anything like that, but I think he'll talk about them about life in general, about, trying to be a pro, about, eating the right way, getting your rest and things like that. So when you have a guy like that, he's invaluable, especially considering that, he's going to be an integral part of what you're trying to do offensively also. So not only is he a guy that contribute on the court, but, I think he'll be a leader with the young guys in that he'll spend time and he'll talk to them and try to communicate with them about being a pro.
Alvin, you have a very short training camp, but you're trying to integrate a lot of new players. 12 of your 18 guys are new. What do you focus on in such a short span to both build chemistry but also implement what you're trying to do?
Well, I think we got to get really good at the basics, basic defense and then basic offense, which Chris Finch has been great at. If you look over the couple of years that we've had him here, he's been able to do a lot of things offensively that, as far as spreading the floor, the spacing part of it, and putting guys in a situation to be successful. So those are the things that I think we've got to get down right away. And then all the other things we can help advance when we're doing player development things, which I said, like I love the player development staff that we have. And, from there, as the season goes, you're still going to always be putting in things and adding situations. But we have, I think, really cerebral players. You look at Lonzo and Brandon and Josh. They came from a system that's very similar to what we're trying to do here. I think our young guys, it would be a learning experience. And then we have some guys that have just been in a situation where they're going to be able to be better just by practicing every day and being in that system and being around guys that have been in that system.
How important is building chemistry, given the piece of play you guys play with that you want to have? How important is building chemistry through training camps and beginning of the season just to avoid turnovers, given the pace of play you want to play with?
I think it's important with chemistry any time, and I think we have the type of guys. I think everyone likes to play in a system where they feel like they're going to get the ball if they're running. If they're open, the pass is going to be to them. It's kind of a way of playing unselfish basketball, I think. We're not an ISO team by any stretch of the imagination. We had more 30-assist games than anybody in the league last year other than Golden State, I think. So, our system is predicated on moving the basketball and finding open people to take open shots. I think that's how you're successful.
You guys have so many new faces and so much depth on the roster. I guess how difficult is it going to be on the coaching staff to figure out what this rotation is going to look like once the game starts?
I would prefer to have it that way than to look down the bench and see no one. So, we'll figure that one out, having good players. But go ahead, Mark. Yeah, you was good. Oh, okay. All right. But thanks, guys. We're really looking forward to it. All right. Come on, Drew.